Morning guys. So I'm gonna start off the day with breakfast. So usually he eats this every single day. So what I'm gonna make is some oat porridge with cinnamon and coconut. So what I do is just put some oat porridge in there. I'm gonna put like 2 scoops. It's probably gonna last him 2 days. Then I'm gonna put some milk. And I'm gonna put some cinnamon as well. I'm gonna put, I don't know, 1 tablespoon probably. So there we are. Then I'm gonna also put later on some butter when it's about to cook, and I'm gonna put some peanut butter as well. So he doesn't have peanut butter, sorry, so I'm gonna put some almond butter. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this cook for about 7-8 minutes. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna add some almond butter and some peanut butter. So I make this porridge for 3 days basically. So yeah, for today, tomorrow, and the next day. I'm just gonna put some almond butter in there. So I use the Meridian one. Right, so if you got a child who's got peanut allergy, you need to try. I was told by the consultant at the allergy clinic that you need to introduce them to tree nuts. Like, so you just have to give them like a variety of tree nuts, and some of them you can't really find them in stores or supermarkets, so you'd have to buy them online, which I do. So I basically just buy my tree nuts online to get a variety. So he's had some you know, the tahini sauce, he got some seeds in there, and he's tried a variety of things. So yeah, so once you mix the peanut, when you mix the almond butter in there, or peanut butter, whichever, you can use almond butter or peanut butter in oats porridge. It just adds that extra nutrients, but it tends to make it a bit thicker, so just be mindful. But trust me, if you try oats with peanut butter or whichever butter you can tolerate, it is actually very nice. Right, so this is the oats porridge done, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put some diced coconut flakes in there, which I'm gonna mix on top, mix in with the porridge. I don't like it, he doesn't like to see the coconut. So what I'm gonna do, put it in, and I'm just gonna mix it in there. And there we have it. That's porridge done for breakfast. So there you have it. That's his porridge with some coconut, peanut, almond butter, and some cinnamon, and it's oats porridge. See if he's eating his food. Okay. Yep, you're eating your food. Good, good. Is it yummy? It's yummy. Is it yummy? He loves his porridge. Look at that. Yes, eat it up. These are the ingredients which I'm gonna use. So I've got some cup of plain flour, half cup of milk, some sugar, 2 tablespoons. I think it's more. I'm gonna have this. Baking soda, you can use baking powder if you want, and I'm gonna put some flax seeds in there because Ori is allergic to eggs, so you can replace the eggs mixture with some flax seeds, and you just mix it with warm water. So when it becomes like gluey texture when you mix flax seeds with water. So I think it combines things together. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some flax seeds in there and I'm gonna mix with warm water. So there we are. And to be fair, flax seeds are healthy anyway, they've got good fats and all this. So yeah, I'm gonna replace my eggs with flax seeds, and you're gonna need some lemon juice, or you can get the fresh one if you want to squeeze fresh lemon juice. And I'm just gonna mix it with some milk, because that's gonna curd and hopefully make some buttermilk. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna put a bit of lemon juice in there and let it sit in the milk for about 2 minutes. Then I've got some blueberries. Just been, yeah, some of them, yeah, just make sure they're all fresh. And yeah, so I've got blueberries. I'm gonna take this away because I've already mixed my flax seeds. And you're gonna need a bowl which you're gonna mix your stuff in, and I've just got some salt to go in there as well. So I'm gonna start with the mixture. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna put the milk first once it's settled. Then you put your dry ingredients like flour, sugar, and this mixture. Then the baking soda is the last thing you're gonna put. Then your blueberries, of course. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I just started off by mixing milk in with the lemon juice, the one I started doing. So I'll just put it in the bowl, and I'm gonna mix all the dry ingredients in there. So now I'm gonna add, I've already put the milk and the lemon juice in there to mimic the buttermilk, and now I'm gonna whisk in the egg into the milk. Well, for me it's the flax seeds. So my little one, he's allergic to 3 things, which are bananas, eggs and peanuts. And when you think about it, these are the main foods when toddlers start to eat solids, transition to solids. Like they normally, you normally have like a crushed banana or banana puree in by itself, or banana puree in a yogurt or porridge or whatever. Or you have some eggs, you give them some scrambled eggs because they're easy to chew, and they get a lot of protein and whichever from those foods. So because he's been allergic to those things, he had 2 allergy reactions, and after those 2 allergy reactions, I've been very cautious of the foods which I buy, which is it's positive and negative at the same time, because I've been limiting him to some things which he probably can benefit from, just thinking he was gonna react from those foods. So yeah, so I think with a toddler, like from when they're 3 months to 12 months, you can sort of manage how they eat, because you're helping them to eat and stuff. Well, with mine, I was helping them to eat. So he was eating okay. Then from 12 months onwards, when they start being active and when they're picky with their food, it's hard because he's sort of lost a lot of weight from up to now. He's lost a lot of weight because he's very active. 2, because obviously from myself, I've been quite reluctant with some foods because it's got these 3 allergy reactions, and because he had the 2 allergy reactions previously, I've been very just reluctant to give him some foods. So anyway, I think now I found my ground where I sort of know what foods I can replace, and so he can be healthy as well and just get the same nutrients he would get from eggs, peanuts and bananas. So with this recipe, I'm making pancakes, but obviously if you look online, 98% of pancakes, they're gonna consist of, especially if you say baby toddler pancakes, they're gonna consist of bananas and eggs, which is annoying. But yeah, I found a recipe where you can basically use flax seeds instead of eggs, because I think they mimic the texture of eggs. So these are the flax seeds after I've mixed them in water. They're a bit like gooey, like eggs, how eggs consistency is. So I'm gonna mix this in my milk with lemon, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and mix everything else. So just mix this until you have no lumps, and I'm gonna add the butter. You can use either butter or oil, whichever you prefer. So I'm just gonna basically melt my butter in the microwave quickly, then I'll come back. Now I've just got my mixture there. What I'm gonna do, you've got your pan there, make sure the oil is warm, is hot. Then I'm just gonna scoop some in there. I'm gonna do 2 at a time because my pan is not that big, so I'm just gonna do 2 at a time. So whilst that's in there, you're just gonna have to put your berries at the top, right? I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can see. So I'm gonna put the berries at the top, so just arrange them at the top. Right, so this is what it should look like, and I'm just gonna flip this across because they look like they're done underneath. Right, so what I tend to do is I peel the skin off this aubergine. Probably saying it wrong. Eggplant. Just take the skin off. Alright, just take all of the skin off. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna chop it in round circles. And I'm gonna put it on a baking tray. Then I'm gonna put some carrots. So I've got this. I like this. This you can only find them in Sainsbury's, because Sainsbury's tends to do a lot of organic foods. So I like shopping if I'm doing like veg and fruits. I like to go to Sainsbury's. So yeah. So I'm gonna take a few of these carrots. Right, so I'm gonna maybe at least 4. Wash them. Come. Right, and I'm just gonna slice them. Right, so I'm just starting off the carrots. I just took the stalks off, and I'm going to just slightly peel them. I just use the back of my knife. Just make sure they're peeled and clean. Okay, I'm gonna do all of them, just clean them quickly. thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna chop these in chunks, just like that. So I prefer not to boil this, because when you roast the veggies, it keeps their flavor, and I think it enhances their flavor as well. So, and it tastes better, to be fair, when you oven bake or grill veggies. Next thing I'm gonna put in there is some garlic. So I like to put a lot of flavor in his food, because I use a lot of spices in my food as well, so he has to get used to it. So I'm just gonna peel off some garlic and place it in the tray, and I'm just gonna roast these vegetables, because I'm gonna make a sauce with these. Normally I'll prefer to use like fresh tomatoes, especially the beef ones, because they've got a lot more flavor in them, but I don't have the beef tomatoes, so I'm just gonna use the regular ones, and I'm gonna put them in the roast tin as well. These have been frozen because I bought a lot of them, so I just put them in bags and I freeze them, so when I want to use them, I just take them out as it is. So I'm gonna put about 5 cloves of garlic. Right, I'm just gonna peel off the skin and put it in the tray. Everything is just gonna roast together, and once that's done, I'm gonna blend all of this with some tomatoes and some herbs, and I'm gonna put spices. Then I'm gonna mix this sauce in pasta. So you can always do this with anything, like if you want to make a sauce or if you want to make anything, you can always make a base of vegetables. That way your child is having some, you know, some veg as well. Sometimes I use some broccoli, and I use the butternut squash. I normally use the butternut squash as well, but I don't have it today, so I'm just gonna have to compromise with that. So yeah, so I've got all the veg in there. I'm gonna add 2 fresh tomatoes. Right, so I've got all my veg there. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put some oil. So I'm gonna put some salt as well, and I'm just gonna sprinkle my dried. So I've got some parsley. I'm gonna sprinkle some because it's dried. So I'm gonna sprinkle. I'm gonna be quite a little bit of there. Then I'm gonna put some basil as well. There we are. Right, so this is gonna go in the oven and cook. Then I'm gonna make the pasta quickly. So I'm gonna make pasta, and I'm gonna make it with some salmon fish as well. So yeah. Here we go. I'm just gonna quickly add 1 brown onion to the roast tray in the oven. It's just gonna add a lot of flavor to his sauce. And what I realized with Ori, my little one, he likes tasty food because I like tasty food as well, so he's used to eating tasty food. So if I don't make it tasty, he's a bit fussy, so I have to get as much flavor in there. So yeah, just basically peel off an onion, and you can leave it whole and just half it and just put it in the oven to just roast. And it's pretty much it. Just throw all the veg you can, and it's just gonna make your pasta sauce really. So this is the spinach, which I'm gonna add whilst all the veg cooks. When everything is done, when I'm blending, I'm gonna add this to the blender. I think I'm gonna add like a cupful. Yeah. So you guys, I normally like to use the penne pasta. That's my main preference when I'm making any pasta. dish, but today I don't have any penne, so I'm gonna use some spaghetti, which is not usually my preference, but I'm gonna use this to make his milk. I'm just gonna use a little bit, so it's pretty much gonna have maybe this, yeah. And you know, with the sauce which I'm making, you can always store it away or freeze it, so that's one good thing. So I'm gonna have pretty much this spaghetti, and I'm just gonna cook this, then I'm gonna mix it up with the sauce when it's done. Right guys, right, so I've got the vegetable out, it's all nice and grilled. I like how the peppers look brown. I didn't want to overcook the carrots, but all of it is nicely done, so that's what it looks like. What I'm gonna do now is just blend it in the blender, and I'm gonna add the spinach and spices in the blender. That's the pasta they're cooking. So yeah, it's looking a bit dull today. It's cloudy, so it looks a bit dark. Should have put the lights on, but that's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the veg in there. Actually, I'm gonna put the spinach first at the bottom, so when I put the veg, when it's hot, it looks really nice. Put it all in there. Sit down. Put it there. Garlic. Some hot water, right? So I'm just gonna take a chicken stock and put it in there, and I'm gonna put some hot water in the juices of the vegetables, right? And I'm just gonna mix this up with the chicken stock. Right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour it in this. Right. That should do. And we're just gonna blitz. Right, next thing, I'm just gonna put some spices. So I'm gonna open this, and I am going to use some I'm literally gonna put a teaspoon of each spices. So I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna put some cumin, which is my favorite spice to work with when you've got like kids, right? Because the taste is subtle anyway. So I'm gonna put a teaspoon of this, and I am going to put some curry powder as well. So I got these jars in a shop, I can't remember where, but they're quite useful, so I just put my spices in there. So I'm gonna put a teaspoon as well of curry powder, maybe a little bit more. Then I am going to put some paprika as well, okay? And I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of the mixed herbs. Right, that's it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna blend this. I'm gonna take some of this sauce, right? Just mix it up with the pasta. What I'm gonna do next, I'm just gonna take some traditional pesto. I'm just gonna put a spoonful, right? and I'm just gonna mix it up, and I'm just gonna add some cheese, and that's it. Right, so there you have it. You got some pasta with some vegetable sauce, and you got some salmon, peppers.